But Blake stands for women, remember. Blake stands for women, but she's trying to force a woman to turn over her entire birthing video. To be released to the internet. Because once it's on the docket, y'all know the internet's going to do internet things and it's going to be everywhere. Blake is such a stand for women. I think his wife, is it Natasha? That she wants Natasha's entire birthing video. She was so offended by that short clip that she saw, that second clip. She was so offended by it that Blake wants to sit her ass down in her theater at home with a recliner chair and some fucking popcorn to watch like a 10-hour birthing video to find a spot that suits her narrative. For those defending Blake, there's your fighter for women. If that's our advocate and our spokesperson, we're screwed and I'm opting out. It's so inappropriate, Blake, but you're going to sit your ass down and watch the entire video because you can't have Ezra watch it. How's Ezra going to know what you saw? Blake is a sick woman. I'm sorry. There is nothing in that video, no matter what clip he showed her, that is what she's claiming it is. She has had 4 children. They were on it's not like, and it's, even if you could argue, well, it's at her work. Okay, I hear you. And context matters. She's not working at Bell Call Center and so-and-so comes over and whips out their phone out of nowhere and starts playing a video of their wife giving birth. In that situation, you might be like, holy shit, what is happening right now? Like, this is wild, man. I'm just trying to answer calls about people's phone service. This is a movie about DV. This is a movie where she is giving birth in the movie. This is a movie where Sony was putting pressure on Justin Baldoni to make it R-rated. This is a movie that, at the end of the day, had adult themes, Blake. And you had to give birth in the movie. And you had to hold a baby after giving birth in the movie. Context matters. If you're all discussing how the birthing scene should go, it's not egregious to be like, hey, this is kind of what I visualized for it. What do you think? But no, Blake, the worst spokesperson for women, the spokesperson for women that Time 100 crowned as an icon or whatever, legend. She wants a woman's entire birthing video to put it on a court docket so that she can sit there with Blake or with Ryan. Yeah. Actually, saying that originally probably makes more sense, that this is all Ryan and he's going to sit there with Blake and watch the fucking video. That probably actually makes more sense. My unconscious mind knows this situation better than I do. They're going to sit there and watch it together. That is disgusting. I'm sorry. I don't care what clip. He could have shown the baby crowning, which we know he didn't. And I'd still say this is not okay. Which obviously he did not show that. Blake, if you're too much of a child and you lack emotional intelligence, don't take on movies that have adult themes, all right? Question, that's all you recall? Answer, yeah. And your wife was in a tub. Answer, a birthing tub. Yeah. Like, they make it seem like they're setting up some kind of corno where they're in like a bubble bath romantic tub. Action, the witness, the towel was more over the baby, I think, because, you know, when the baby came out of the water and you bring it up, then it's wet. So you put a dry towel to cover it. Miss Hudson says, question, and in the video that you gave to your lawyers to give to us, were you in the video? Answer, I am. And are you nude in that video? Answer, no. Answer, I don't know that she was in a state of undress. Oh, this must be getting to the makeup removal breastfeeding video. Question, do you have a specific memory of the incident that Miss Carroll, Miss Baker, and Miss Lively described? Answer, I do. Okay, and what is your memory of that incident? Answer, well, this is day 2 of shooting. We had got a text that morning, maybe the night before, but it could have been that morning from Miss Lively that she wanted to meet with me and Ange and Justin and Alex. We tried to have the meeting that morning. It didn't work out. We tried to have it in the afternoon, several attempts, and we were not able to achieve. At the end of shooting, we were at the cemetery. I approached her and said, I know you want to meet today, but it's getting late, and suggested that maybe we do it the next day or something. She had said that she was going back to her makeup trailer. Could we meet her there? And we could have the conversation then. Not the conversation that she wanted to have in the morning, the conversation about whether or not we were going to do it that night or the next day. Question. So the conversation, just so I understand it, was just about when the meeting was going to take place. Answer, she was hoping to have it that day, that night. And now that it was at the end of the day, I was concerned about her turnaround time. Question. So just to be clear, though, the conversation that you were going to have with Miss Lively or makeup trailer and your understanding was about when this meeting was going to take place. Shapiro, objection. The witness, whether we were going to do it that night or the next day. Miss Hudson, question. Okay. Answers, the 4 of us, Justin, myself, Ange, and Alex, all went to her makeup trailer. The 4 of us. I knocked, heard some sort of come in or yes, or some indication that led me to believe it was okay to open the door. Question. So the opposite of what the 3 witnesses said. Oh, you could just like picture Ezra with that, like the opposite of what everyone else said. So Ezra is accusing him of having a different memory. Answer, you asked me what? Question, I just want to make sure I understand. They all said she said no. And you heard yes? Is that right? Miss Shapiro, objection. The witness, Ken, I don't. Miss Shapiro, will you just let him finish his answer? You asked him to describe his memory of the event, but you keep interrupting him. Miss Hudson, well, I'm asking questions as he is providing the answer. He hasn't even had a chance to provide the answer. Fuck off, Ezra. The witness, would it be okay if I just give you the answer? Poor Jamey. Miss Hudson, go ahead. Answer, is that all right? Ezra, go ahead. Answer, so I then knocked, to be clear, with Justin and Ange and Alex with me at the bottom of her steps. I knocked on the door, heard some indication to come in. As I took a step up, I saw that she was leaned back. She looked what I thought was either maybe breastfeeding or nursing. I said to her, oh, it looks like you're busy. I can come back. As I turned around, she says, no, that's okay. You can come in, just look away. And I said, sure. Now, the one thing I want to say is even if she had said no, like these other witnesses say that Ezra's keep hammering on about, even if there was a misunderstanding, they had said no, but he heard, muffled something, thought it was okay to walk in. She could have just said, perfect, come back later. Again, emotional intelligence is clearly lacking here. Jamey continues, now I never saw the front of her. I just saw this, which appeared to be a familiar position of her feeding or nursing or pumping. So then I walked over to the side, looked away. We had a 2-minute conversation, could have been 3 minutes. But whether or not we were going to have the meeting that night or the next day, I was trying to negotiate with her. Could we do it tomorrow? Because I was worried about the turnaround time and we would lose money, which is an implication. We would lose hours in the next day, which is an implication of money. Yeah, that's business. You can't keep holding shit up for Blake, who turns out even dictated where this movie was shot. They changed where they were shooting this for Blake. Yeah, or stop, get out. Like anyone there, if there were all these witnesses, anyone there could have been like, oh, no, we said no. We had a conversation, he says, back and forth. She eventually said no, we had to have it tonight, and she would not waive any sort of turnaround time and do it off record. So I then left, walked down the stairs out of the makeup trailer where Ange, Justin, and Alex were, reported to them she wants to do it tonight. I tried to convince her to do it tomorrow, but she wants to do it tonight. Like, she dictated everything. And you're going to say Justin had control on the set? Blake, girl. Jamey continues. She walked out 4 or 5 minutes later, greeted us, said hello. We went into her then trailer and we had a discussion about what she wanted to meet with us. Question, and when she came to the trailer for the meeting, did she say anything about what had just occurred in her makeup trailer? Answer, she did not. This is on day 2. This is May. Question, May 16th. Answer, May 16th. Question. Did you ever learn that Miss Lively had a different view of the incident in the trailer prior to her testimony? Answer. I learned that her different view is when I read the CRD complaint. Can you imagine? He thought it was all copacetic. He reads the CRD complaint. He's like, pardon me? Come again? What happened in the trailer? Because that's not what happened in the trailer. Wow. So she didn't even bring it up. She didn't even. And clearly she had the power on set. She's changing the location. She's taking over every fucking department. So you can't come here and say she was too nervous to bring it up. She wasn't nervous to bring anything else up. Questions. So you didn't hear any concerns raised by Miss Lively regarding this incident in the trailer on the second day of shooting till the CRD complaint? Answer. We had a conversation about it on June 1st, 2 weeks later, but not that there was a concern. Question. Okay. And when you say we had a conversation about 2 weeks later, who are you speaking about? Answer. There was a conversation with Blake, Justin, myself, and Alex Sachs about she had got COVID and we returned to set, and we had a morning conversation before we started working. And I think that's around the time she went to a Taylor Swift concert. Miss Hudson. Question. Okay, so if Miss Lively wasn't saying she was uncomfortable, what was your understanding of the reason she brought up the video? Miss Shapiro. Objection. The witness. I can tell you what the interaction was and what I inferred from it. Miss Hudson. Sure. Answer. As she came back from having COVID and as a text said she wanted to get off to a as read, back to work on a solid track. She said to me that, Jamey, you know, when you walked up to me to show me the video with your wife, I thought you were showing me corn. What would that even, like, what? I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Really? Oh my gosh. She was like, I know that it wasn't, but it startled me. I thought that's what you were showing me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And then we moved on. She didn't say anything that it was uncomfortable. She was just telling me that's what she thought. She recognized that what she thought it was, that it was in fact what I showed her. And then she moved on in the next subject. So he apologized profusely. She was the one that misinterpreted the situation. It sounds like they had a bit of like a laugh afterwards, like, oh my gosh, like that's obviously not what happened. They moved on, and then she weaponizes it against him. And it looks like something's cut off, and it says, this is what Miss Lively said. So you're disputing Miss Sachs' memory. Miss Shapiro, objection, but that doesn't seem to match up. So I'm not sure what the question was there. Miss Shapiro, objection, the witness. I don't mean to dispute anybody's memory, okay? I can only tell you what happened. That's not Miss Hudson. Oh, of course, she's interrupting him again. Question, did Miss Lively discuss the trailer incident? Answer, she did bring it up. Yeah. Question, what did she say about it to your memory? Answer, after she said something about it. Oh, isn't this the same thing? Oh, no. After she said something about it, as I said, that she thought the video at first was corn, recognized that it wasn't because it was not. She then said, also, you know, when you came into the trailer a couple of weeks, I asked you to look away at some point. You made eye contact with me. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. She says, I'm not saying you were trying to cop a look. Oh my God. This woman just assumes everyone's in love with her is what I'm getting from this. Everyone wants to cop a look of Blake Lively. Everyone wants to kiss her. Everyone is obsessed with her. Can you imagine being like that up your own butt, that the world revolves around you to the point that everyone is trying to cop looks? Everyone is trying to kiss you. Everyone is in love with you. And it's like what Justin said, where he said, I don't even know what to say because her and Ryan believe this shit. And I genuinely believe in her head, probably because she's been around yes men and yes women her whole life, being like, you're beautiful. And I think she's pretty. She's had a lot of work. She's pretty. You're beautiful. You're perfect. You're glorious. Everyone loves you. You're a princess. She's had people telling that to her entire life, and it's gone to her head so much. She's so narcissistic that if anyone even looks at her, she thinks they're trying to cop looks. So Jamey Heath continues. So she says, I'm not saying you were trying to cop a look. I'm just saying that I had asked you to turn away and you made eye contact with me. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize that. Maybe I happened to glance through conversation. I have no memory of it. But then she moved on to the next. Did you just fall over? Like, it also seemed like, I don't know. Let me know your read of this, but doesn't it kind of seem like how she's brought these situations up, like not actual concerns, but being like, oh my gosh, like, I thought you were trying to show me corn, like kind of in conversation, like just like chatting and then moving on. Like he's profusely apologized to her for things and she just weaponizes everything. Questions. So you talked about the video, but Miss Shapiro, can you let him finish? No, Ezra cannot let someone finish. The witness. So we talked about the video. We didn't talk about the details of it. We just brought up again that video was shown. Again, I apologized to her, recognizing that she was surprised by it. But this wasn't written, but that topic was. So no more mention of Baldoni or Heath's previous addictions. I don't have a corn addiction. So certainly she wouldn't have never read that. I don't know what that refers to. You've given me a full scope of your memory about what was discussed in that 5 or 6 hours. Ms. Shapiro, objection. The witness, no, a lot of it was Ryan belittling Justin. Wow. Okay, so they've obviously time jumped in this. We're missing some pages. It went from 284 to 290. So time jumped in this. And I think this is that 5 hour, 6 hour, just like Ryan losing it on Justin. So Jamey Heath says, no, a lot of it was just Ryan belittling Justin. Ryan's a psychopath. My opinion. By Miss Hudson. Question, for 5 or 6 hours? Answer, a lot of it was. Can you imagine someone spending 5 to 6 hours belittling you? I would have probably punched him in the face and walked out after 10 minutes. Wow. So a lot of it was, out of 5 to 6 hours, it was Ryan belittling Justin. Question, and when you say belittling, what do you mean by that? Answer, when she first started reading a couple of her things and Justin was hearing this, taking this in and trying to make sense of it, he was frozen by hearing this stuff. No kidding. And instead of, well, let me not say instead of, and his reaction was that he was being a coward. That what you do when a woman says this to you and points out these things, you just stand up and you just apologize and apologize. And Justin was just like, I didn't do this. And then he raised his voice and used some language and insinuated that he was not a good guy. So Ryan raised his voice and was using language and going after Justin, saying he's not a good guy. That question that Mr. Baldoni was not a good guy. And then it jumps again to page 338. But I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Ryan was accusing him of that. Question, did you discuss with Mr. Baldoni hiring Jed Wallace? Answer, I don't recall. I don't remember. Question, did you discuss with anyone else at Wayfair that Mr. Wallace was being hired to do so? I may have. Question, did you discuss it with Mr. Sarwitz? Answer, I don't have a particular memory of it, but I may have. I don't know. Question, did you receive an email outlining the work that Mr. Wallace would be doing for Wayfair? Mr. Glover, objection form. The witness, I believe there was an email that came in that I only know about more recently, but I never looked at it. Ms. Hudson, you didn't look at it? Answer, I did not. Question, did it come to you? Answer, I believe my email was on it. Yes. Question, you believe it did come to you? Answer, I believe so. Question, but you're saying, answer, only because I've learned more recently. Question, by whom? Answer, by the production supervisor, I believe Alex Sachs. Question, Alex Sachs told you that employee complaints should be brought to the line AD and production supervisor. Answer, I don't know specifically. And they're going back and forth about Alex Sachs. What I found, nobody wants to be here.